Small-scale mine owners say officials from the Mineral Resources Department are working with illegal miners to allegedly take over their businesses. Last week, 7 people in the Angelo informal settlement in Boksburg died after a gas leak that's been linked to illegal mining. Our reporter, Pule Leshwiti-Jones, has more information on this story. And Pule, as you speak to experts about the issue of illegal mining between Lesotho and South Africa, what are they saying the solution could be exactly?
Definitely. During one of the events hosted by the African Peer Review Mechanism in Kenya, I got a chance to speak to one of the officials from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Relations in Lesotho. And basically what they were saying is that they're trying to get hold of the South African government to convene a meeting and urgently address this matter here in relation to illegal miners, infamously known as Zama-Zamas, operating illegally within South Africa. But in the meantime, when you zoom into our country as well in South Africa, this has a bearing on many businesses. And essentially what this does is that it's costing the economy millions of rands as well, even billions, one would say. But so joining me right now is one of the business owners who have been hard hit by these kind of operations allegedly taking place in South Africa. Mr. Joe Mafinya, thank you very much for chatting to me this midday. You held a press briefing right now, just concluded, but we just want to get a sense of what the problem is here, which is so alarming and is costing the economy so much money.
Thank you very much for making time to speak to me. The problem in South Africa currently is illegal mining and mine hijacking by a gold syndicate. We've managed to identify who are the people behind this. As I've explained earlier on, Koos van Straden is involved in the hijacking of Floxy 4 gold mine. They are currently processing illegal gold at my mine that they've hijacked, and I think it's a problem that we need to deal with, because people, when they talk about the Zama-Zamas, they talk about young Mozambicans who are normally dirty, carrying bags full of gold-bearing material, but they don't really look at the deeper in terms of who is behind this, the value chain, the involvement of financial institutions who are backing this gold syndicate in South Africa. I think this is where we need to look at in terms of who are the brains behind this illegal mining in South Africa. So there is concrete evidence now that you have a mine owner in the form of me, whose mine has been literally hijacked. That is anarchy. And the other thing, what does this thing have an impact? It has an impact in the economy, as you've mentioned, unemployment, the impact on mine owners themselves. As you may know, that gold mining is capital intensive. Each time something like this happens to you and you are taken out of business, it means more money that you need to go in and invest. There's nothing to invest. I don't have my mine. My mine is in possession of criminals. Number two, what have I done about this? I've approached the Hawks. I've approached the presidency, the Minister of Mineral Resources. There's no support. There's no support. As I'm speaking to you, if you go to the mine now, the mine is not being raided by Department of Mineral Resources. You have gangsters that are running the operation. It's not good for the country. It can't be.
So just to come in there, obviously you've implicated some of these people in these allegations you made as well. What has been the feedback from law enforcement agency, and to date, how much have you lost in terms of capital when you speak about the syndicates who have infiltrated your business operations?
Perfect. If you look at the cost, remember my mine was initially burned down. I had to fix the mine. It got burned down 3 times. Now, it's being operated by a gold syndicate. From December up to now, I've lost 100 million in terms of revenue. And what do? They are operating with impunity. You can only do that in a country where there's no law and order. I mean, where are they getting the strength and the confidence to do such things? You can only do that with the support of state officials. And it's really concerning, because nothing is happening to them. The police have been there. We've seen illegal trucks parking there. We've seen the community members guarding those trucks to make sure that they are protected from the police and everyone. So I think this problem is not about Joel Mafenya. It's about crime in South Africa. How can we sort out this thing? How can we deal with this crime?
What has law enforcement said to you? What has been the feedback?
Well, they're still planning. And I don't know when are they going to eject those criminals at the mine. As I've said, it's happening in Mpumalanga as I'm speaking to you. I don't know. And I'm losing income. We can create jobs. You know, poor communities are suffering. And these organized criminals, they go there, bring people at the mine under the guise of being community people. They hire taxis. So it's happening. It's not something that you'll say they are planning. It's there. If you go to the mine now, you'll find the Zamazamas, and you'll find Helium. In fact, Pule himself was at the mine. He kicked out my management. He kicked out my security. He does not want them because they will see the processing of the gold, and they are not even hiding it.
Where's your mine situation? How many people have you lost so far in terms of unemployment? How many workers have you lost?
The mine is at its full capacity should be employing 200 to 300 people. 200 to 300 people. It can't. Currently, you have the contractor on site with less than 50 people there that they are using illegally, in fact. Those people that are there are not registered. The mine does not have a mine manager because I failed to appoint a mine. I didn't appoint a mine manager because if I do that, the mine currently is a crime scene. So I'm surprised that government is not acting on the situation. They continue to run their operations.
All right, thank you very much. Of course, that's one of the owners there, business entrepreneurs from Flexible Gold, who's saying that their mine has been infiltrated by some of these illegal operations currently taking place, where Zamazamas are believed to be at the center of causing disruptions at these business operations. But furthermore, saying that there's a syndicate here at play, alleging that it's working with some of the state officials, and that he's tried to open a case with the Hawks and the SIU and still is awaiting feedback. So I tell you what we're going to do right now, Masiego, is we're going to try to get hold of those who have been alleged to be involved in the syndicate at the Flexible Gold operations, and we will, of course, be giving you feedback as to what is happening right now, and, of course, get a sense with the Hawks as to how far this issue is here.
All right, Pule Leshwiti-Jones live for us there. Thank you. Let's leave it there for now.